Hi, welcome to my channel, The Machine Learning Engineer. Today we continue with another video on the series LLMOps, and the topic of today is how to build a production-ready OpenAPI compliance REST server that provides secure access to a Microsoft SQL Server database. This is the third video of a series that I've been doing. Probably this will be the latest one, where we build an infrastructure to connect, which allow us to connect data, our private data, to different AI providers. In the first video of this series, I create an NCP server compatible with the Claude AI infrastructure. If you have a Claude subscription, how to create a custom this server we create on that video allow us to connect to from a Claude AI subscription to a SQL server that we had hosted in our private cloud. In the second video we do the same, but we create a NCP server which allow us to connect our SQL data to a ChatGPT subscription, either personal or enterprise. And in the last video we are gonna do the same, but instead to use NCP protocol we will use OpenAPI. With OpenAPI, you probably are familiar with this. Is a probably a technology that you have used, or maybe even without you knowing. Is pretty common used to set up or to build APIs to exchange data or to provide data to different technologies. You probably have interacted with APIs for a long time, because as you can see we are already in the specification 3.0. 3.1 is the latest, and then it's pretty common define RESTful APIs with Swagger, which is the specification, and OpenAPI. So in previous videos we have here a demo, a bit of the whole infrastructure. We continue using, as in the previous videos, in our multi-tenant infrastructure. This is something I forgot, sorry. The architecture is multi-tenant, meaning that we can access to the same endpoint, the same front, to multiple NCP servers using multiple or different technologies. In the front we are using a reverse proxy, NGINX, and NGINX is also the termination ending for SSL protocol for our HTTPS connection. So this means that we have multiple users with different subscriptions, either in Claude or OpenAI ChatGPT, using custom connectors in these connections, and using either NCP or OpenAPI protocols. So the front, all these users, all these subscriptions connect obviously to their subscriptions, and OpenAI or Claude infrastructure is connecting, their backends are connecting to our endpoint, to our public endpoint, which is being served by the NGINX reverse proxy. To do a little bit of recap, here you had what I just mentioned. We had our Claude AI users, ChatGPT users, and Action. This is ChatGPT, but using Actions. We will cover this later in the demo. And then those are users that are connected to their subscriptions, and they either define custom connectors to connect NCP servers, or use actions in GPTs. This is one of the features of the ChatGPT, and via actions you connect to an open API servers and allowed to interact with some private data. In the front, as I mentioned you, we have the reverse proxy NGINX, and this is the ending of our SSL TLS connections, and we have different folders or different routes in our NGINX server, which how to say, they are the connection or endpoint to which we point out our subscriptions. For Cloud AI we have demo. For ChatGPT NCP connector, custom connector, we had slash ChatGPT, and for OpenAPI actions in ChatGPT we had slash actions. For the NCP connections we are using still SSE. This is, as you probably know, is being decommissioned in the NCP protocol, and then we it's being replaced by HTTP strings. We can easily replace this just simply replacing the routes, but for the time being, when I started this series, still the SSE protocol was not decommissioned, and then well, that's why I created for that protocol. But again, in any case, on the client side, on Claude and ChatGPT, still they are connecting or allowing to use SSE or HTTP strings. So we had our container with NGINX, and we have our the same our connection, our Docker, our container with Let's Encrypt. This is exactly the same. We didn't change anything. Obviously, we include on the configuration files for our NGINX proxy. We include the new route, and we just configure this in the nginx conf.t configuration file. But for the certificates, we didn't change anything. It's the same endpoint, and we have the same IP address, the same domain name, and the same certificates using the same technology. If you remember from previous videos, it's not I recommend you to see it. We are using Let's Encrypt at the certification authority. This is a well-known certification authority. As you can see here, 700 million websites is offering free certificates that by default they are renewed in combination with Therbot. Therbot is a bot, is a Docker which is working together with Let's Encrypt to check and renew your certificate every 90 days. This 90 days is the default value. You can reduce it or increase it, it's up to you. But for this configuration, as we did in the initial video, in the video with the integration with Cloud AI, we keep using the same technology for encryption and to encrypt the HTTP connections. This is not changing, and then again we use Let's Encrypt certificates and Therbot Docker to just verify every 12 hours if our container, if our certificates are still valid, and if not, it will automatically renew the certificate and install it on the reverse proxy again, or in the routes that we had set up on the configuration files. Then we had a container. By the way, everything is running in a Docker Compose project. So we had a container with the NGINX, we had another container with the Therbot, and we had we can have 3 different containers that all of them are accessing to different databases, the virtual databases in a MS SQL database server. And we had 3 containers, one for the subscription, an NCP server compatible with the NCP custom connector in Cloud AI, another one for the custom connector in ChatGPT, and the third one is the one that works with ChatGPT Actions, which is a feature in the GPTs, with a custom GPTs on your ChatGPT subscription. All of them connect as via ODBDC to the MS SQL database. We will cover this later on detail. To go to the details, so the only thing that changed again is that now we create a new container, we extend the configuration of the NGINX reverse proxy, and obviously we include the new service on the Docker Compose file. Looking to the details, we have here GPTs. If you are not familiar with GPTs are custom. You can custom versions of a GPT that you can create for your own consume. There is many, or for your own purpose. There is many that are for third parties, some of them that directly from ChatGPT, some other for third parties. There is different categories, and you can create as well your own GPTs. And then when you have a GPT, you can set up what they say actions, create new actions, as you can see here. And these actions essentially are working via OpenAPI. It still is not supporting any other protocol. Then later, when we are doing the demo, we will cover this, and then we will see the full details of what we have here. But essentially, once you have your custom GPT, you can define an OpenAI action, and this action is going to connect via HTTPS connection. This is TLS via plus a key, a bearer token. And then we will set up a connection, first of all via TLS to our endpoint, TLS endpoint in our NGINX reverse proxy, and the route action will redirect the query to our MCP OpenAPI server. The OpenAPI server had defined a schema. We will cover this as well on the demo, and then we had exactly defined the 4 tools that we had defined on the NCP servers. So we have list tables, we had described, so we have here the internal routes, health, list table via get, describe table via get as well, get table sample via get as well, get command, and execute SQL via pause. We enforce as well as in the previous NCP server, React only SQL enforcement, meaning that we are doing sanitization of the queries. So when we are executing a query, we are checking if we include on the query some commands that are dangerous, like delete, write, or add, any statement procedure, anything that may change the database is kind of filter and is not allowed to be executed. This is a layer that we implement on the Open API on the REST server. This is exactly the same that we did on the NCP servers, to avoid that case that somebody tried to via conversation with the model, try to add some data or try to manipulate the data that we have in the database. Is not allowed. It will return not to the LLM that is not allowed to do this kind of operations. On top of that, we had as well an ODBC connection to the server that is React only, to avoid just a second layer of security, to avoid that somebody can change the any data that we have on the database. So we have React only credentials. The authentication to the NCP server is done via headers using a token bearer, and you can use three options when you integrate this with actions in ChatGPT. Custom GPTs. One is no authentication, something that I don't recommend you. You can set up as well key authentication or AUTH authentication. The best, and it will be something that we do for the next video, is to set up the same, but instead to do with a key token. Key tokens is the easiest one. It's very simple. As if we implement with other additional security implementations, this is more than enough. But for example, controlling the origin IP address and domains which are sending us these requests, is perfectly valid to be used a key. But if you want to have an extra layer of security, implement OAuth authentication. Much better, more robust, and together with other security measures, we will do not a completely or 100% secure server, but we will mitigate practically anything that is possible to be done. As you probably remember, and it's something I repeat again, there is no 100% security, but you may mitigate in combination with other measures most or practically all the attacks or problems that you may have once you had an IP address exposed to internet. Remember that we are exposing our data, your company data, your private data to via an IP address that is published on internet. That is one of the requirements that you have. You remember to set up the endpoints to connect to ChatGPT or Claude. We need to have a public IP address, a domain name, a public domain name, and a certificate connected to this public IP address and issued by our well-known certification authority. You have to open at least port 80 and 443 for encrypted and not encrypted connections to your AGINX reverse proxy, meaning that you are opening a door to your company, a door to everybody, because in internet is you need to provide this access, and then on this is obviously exposing or giving the chance, if you are not configuring correctly the security of your infrastructure, you can get access, probably not intentional, to your private data, and you may run into problems. That's why I insist a lot to implement multiple security measures like controlling the source IP address, everything isolated in Docker Compose and containers, and then on as well only React only credentials, SQL enforcements for SQL sanitization, and anything that you can implement as security measures, the best. If you plan to do this in your company, you plan to replicate this infrastructure, I strongly recommend you to to contact a company specialized in cybersecurity, in penetration testing, because yeah, anything that they can discover will be protected, your data, your private data, the data of your company. You want to do it for your own data, it's up to you. At the end of the day, you lose your pictures or your documents, is your basically your problem. But if you pretend to do this in a company, again, the architecture is fine, but you never know which kind of problems we may introduce case that we deploy one of these connectors on NCP servers or Open API servers, when we deploy this into production and we connect to the real data. So again, I strongly recommend you to put you in professional hands, in order to review the security of this infrastructure before you open it to or you deploy to or roll out this into production. Having said that, let's move to the code. So we start with the Docker Compose. In the Docker Compose, we just simply create a new service, and then it's pretty similar to the demo. To the NCP server compatible. In the previous video, when I described how to build a NCP server compatible with ChatGPT, and at that time the NCP implementation that OpenAI had done, especially for enterprise subscriptions, only allowed to configure these NCP servers with two tools. One was search and the other one was fetch. This has changed very recently. The past 2 weeks, if I don't remember wrong, had changed, and they are adopted as well the developer mode in the enterprise subscriptions. So that's why now the NCP server demo, who was the NCP that allow us to create custom connectors for Claude AI. Claude AI was implementing full NCP protocol. OpenAI not. OpenAI just implement a light and very limited version of the NCP protocol, only defined tools, fetch and search. And then once OpenAI adopted the full NCP protocol, which is activating the developer mode. I will show you later as well on the demo. We can replace or remove the previous NCP server only for limited tools from our Docker Compose. So in the current Docker Compose, we only have the Open API server. We have the demo with this NCP server compatible with the developer mode of ChatGPT and with Claude AI. We have our NGINX reverse proxy, and we have our Therbot. So these 4 containers is the whole infrastructure, multi-tenant. As you can see, we can use you can use it to. In this case, we are connecting to the same database, but you can connect it to other NCP servers. You just maybe just need to change the what you want to do. In this case, we are using the same NCP server, but what is changing is what this NCP server used to connect to different services, like from. And again, we had one for OpenAPI, the one that we will cover today. Server demo is for Claude AI and for ChatGPT in development mode, and then on the rest is common, NGINX, the reverse proxy, and Therbot. Everything running in our container. We had as well our Docker. Docker is pretty similar to the others. If you take a look to this is the Docker for the demo for Claude AI. It's pretty similar. Just we use a image of Python 3.11. We update the version, the operating system. We install the ODBC driver and we configure it. We install our requirements here, and we just set up the environmental variables and just run the script. When you look at the script, it's a little bit long as well here. We do the imports. We are using again Fast API as in the others, and Pydantic to define the RESTful APIs. We use Pydantic models. Is the way to do it. Pydantic, is you probably are familiar with that, is a library, well-known library in Python, which allow us to define data models, and enforce them. This is to implement data typing enforcement. So let's cover. We have here PyOBDC is the library to connect to the database, and UBCon is the application server. Login, loading the environment. Our URL is the return URL that we will return. We will expose in our OpenAPI schema. React only mode. This is a variable in our .env environmental file, environmental variables file. Here also we take the token. We have it configured on the environmental file. Here we create our data classes for table items, table response, columns, describe table response as well. Execute SQL queries, execute SQL response. So we are configuring in and out, input and output models for every tool that we had available on our RESTful APIs. The tools are exactly the same that we had again on the NCP servers. Here we had the classes that we will filter when we do the SQL query sanitization. We are defining what is dangerous. You can extend this if you don't want to, or you can remove some of the stuff if you want to allow this SQL server to do something different. Here we had some data, some helpers to normalize values that are returned by the PyODBC library. Here a method to validate if the query is correct, is the sanitization query method to clean or to You can see here just the messages that we are returning, case that you are trying to use one of the forbidden patterns in your SQL query. Or not you, it's when you make you are the idea is that you are going to be chatting with the ChatGPT in this case, and you will be interacting using natural language, but you may ask the ChatGPT to add some, for example, add this row into this table, and then this ChatGPT will create a query which is essentially using insert or update, depending how you build it, and this will be blocked by one of these methods. So here as well, depending to avoid create some queries that may cause some SQL injections, we are sanitization as well, table names. Here just another helper to help to identify all the tables that we have on the database, qualifies name, just to build as well the final name that is going to be used to do the final query. This is to connect the get dbconfig to connect to the database. Here the context manager, this is the connection to the database with the configuration. You have it here. We use dbconfig and we connect to the database and we get the connection, our connection, and our cursor to be iterated through the different tables. Here we had the different, this is the method that we will use to verify that from your HTTP headers that you had a correct token bearer. Is not, we will return that you are not authorized to interact with that endpoint. So we every endpoint that we want to protect, we will need to include, as you will see now down, the verify bearer to authorize or not authorize the user to access to that specific tool. For example, here we had list table worker. This is another method. This is helper. Discrete table worker, another helper. This will be used later on the final on the asynchronous entries that that implement the entry points that are exposed later on our REST interface. REST APIs, run select and get table worker. These are the final methods that are executing the query on the database and returning later the data. As you can see here, we are expecting, for example, discrete table worker. We expect a parameter and we return one of the schemas that we have defined at the top of this script. Here we create our Fast API application. We just simply instantiate the Fast API object with this URL. We define the middleware, what is possible and not possible to do, get, post, and auction. We don't allow here in allowed origins. For the time being, we allow everything, but you can also here we are doing this control on NGINX configuration. Why? Because the only we can here just restrict to the Docker container to be the only one which can connect to this middleware. So as you probably know, everything is running on the Docker Compose network, and then on the only origin that is sending requests, get or post to this container is the container with this running NGINX. This is the redirect mechanism, and then it's not really necessary to block any other origin here. You can do it, but the effect is gonna be the same. It's not You are not adding an additional security here, just setting up here that the only original allowed is the container, is the ngins container. We had implemented on the configuration that only is possible to receive connections from ChatGPT domain. Health, we define here the entry point health. Here we define list table. This is our tools, and here, as you can see here, we are calling we are returning list table response, and here in the list table list table worker, we define this method, and as you can see here, we essentially are requiring to verify the bearer before run in the thread pool in a new thread the list table worker, which is the method which connect to the database and list the table. So every entry point that you want to protect, you need to implement something like you see here. Depends on the bearer that you have here on the top. Here is gonna check if you had an authentication header with the correct key that we had on our expected beret token variable. This is for list table. You can see here that in health we don't need to set up the authentication. This is just from ChatGPT to check if the is a keep alive entry point, to check if the database is alive or not alive. Here we have the same for describe table tool, and then on again verify bearer, and we call here the describe table with the parameter. We have here execute query, and the same verify bearer SQL worker with the payload. This payload, this table, it will be sent by the LLM in our ChatGPT subscription in that case. And here get table sample, and also the same get table sample worker. Here the LLM will send the table name and the limit. If you write on your instruction the limit of how many records you want to get, fine. It's not by default, it will be fine. Here custom open API. We are just simply creating a custom schema. To later on, you can check here, we are defining the different security schemas. In the case of ChatGPT actions, you can define only one schema, security schema. So here you have the option to define bearer authentication, no authentication, or OAuth authentication. So, but only one. If you want to change the authentication to OAuth, you will have to change this code here. And here, just simply we are creating all the components that we need to expose, and to later on, as you will see later, we will import into actions in our ChatGPT subscription. Here we are defining the full schema of tools and security schemas and metadata that we need to expose and get to the connector to understand how the LLM need to interact with the model, with the Open API or with the REST API. Finally, here we create the application, and we just run the application with Ubicon. Ubicon, as you remember, is the application server where we run the Fast API application. Okay, so for NGINX, we don't change the configuration file. It's exactly the same that we have for in previous videos. It's not changing here anything. And for the routes configuration, we have here the demo. This is the NCP server, and here on the top we are just adding the actions, what is allowed, what is the headers, match age, so the configuration of what is allowed to do when somebody point to this road from outside, basically. And then once you receive a query to your domain / actions, you will be redirected to the container NCP server OpenAPI on the port 8009. Okay, so I think I had somewhere, probably here. No, this does not. That is. Let me open it again. So here we are connected here, and here you can do a sudo docker ps. So we have here some of the containers for this implementation. We had these four, as I mentioned you before: the NGINX server, the NCP server compatible with Cloud AI, the OpenAPI server, the one that we are, and the Therbot. This is another story I will tell you in another let me check if we have the logs. Yeah, I think we can. Oops, the repos. Okay. So you can check here. We have the logs or our. Yeah. So this is the help. Here there is some interactions. Now let's check how to create this. Let me show you first of all the schema. If you point to the domain actions and you pass OpenAPI JSON, this is the JSON, the schema that we need to import to our OpenAPI client. In this case, you check here, you can verify it pretty plain. Okay, so let's go here, and then on in our case, let's create. You can create here one more. You can get a name, blah blah blah. This you can define your instruction, conversation starter, knowledge, etc. Capabilities. This is if you want to allow this custom GPT to do web search, to create canvas, image, or to work as code interpreting and data analysis. And here you create an action. Here you just import the schema, and here in the authentication you just create API key, bearer, and you here copy the API key. You save and create. Once you have this done, I'm not gonna create it because I already had one, so you can directly go here to the actions and you can start testing your API directly. You have here, and you can check here, for example, what have done. You can describe table. I don't remember what we had. Describe table. Let's test what's going on here. Yeah, it's taking one of the table. You can do the test here. Once you are happy with that, you can just simply update or save, and once you have it done, you can go back and use it. You have to have the developer mode activated. You can go to settings, applications and connectors, developer mode. This is still in beta. This is what I mentioned you before. This option was in beta when and some weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, it was activated for. This is my subscription. It's a plus subscription, but so 2 weeks ago was activated for enterprise subscription. You can activate it, and now you can just list tables. This is your custom GPTs. You can hear here GPTs. This is different to new chat. You can go new chat here. This is different. This is just interactive with one of the modes. You can here activate deep research, create agent mode, or NCP connectors. But here you are creating your custom GPT, which is something different. This is just to either you take one from the ones existing and you can create a copy, or you create your own one with your own actions, your own knowledge, etc. You can list tables in database, and then on is talking with our okay. That's all. That's pretty much all. As you can see now, we have a full compatible OpenAPI server which is connected to ChatGPT, to the GPT actions, with using the GPT action feature in your ChatGPT subscription. And then on probably at the, if you didn't see the previous 2 videos where I describe ChatGPT NCP connectors, ChatGPT Claude AI NCP custom connectors, and the third one is GPT actions connectors via OpenAPI APIs or RESTful APIs. In this case, as I mentioned you, we are connecting to databases with an NCP server which connect us to a database. We have 4 tools in this case, but this part here you can change it to whatever you need. You have the whole skeleton of an infrastructure which just simply can allow you to connect to multiple and different data types. Just you simply need to change the NCP server. The front can be the same, and then on you can define different routes, redirection routes in your NGINX reverse proxy, and this way you can expose multiple tools, connectors, and interfaces that expose your private data securely to your Claude AI and ChatGPT subscriptions. Okay, that's pretty much all. Thank you very much for watching the video to this point. I hope that you find it interesting, useful for your job, for your training, for whatever reason are you watching this video. And if so, give me a like, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Consider becoming a paid member of my channel. This way you have access to the projects. 90% of the content of the channel is free to access, but only these special projects. When I say projects, we have more than 30 different ones for different topics. They are only for paid members of the channels. You can also help me to continue with this job, with this activity. It's just super thanks as well, or even sharing or making comments on the channel. This way I can the YouTube will expose, or how to say, make more will scale up the video in the algorithm, and more people will access to this content. Thank you very much, and see you soon.